Millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God.
Yes, woke pastors attacked Trump and Vance to their faces for scaring LGBT kids and illegals. I don't know, when you take a look at this article, Daily Mail put out Trump watches in disbelief as Smoke Bishop scorned him in prayer service with woke screed about trans children fearing for their lives.
Let me make one final plea, Mr. President. Millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here.
Yes, when you look at this sermon, to me, a lot of people have termed it a woke sermon. When you take a look at Trump's response to this, it's very simple. Trump responded to the sermon at a national prayer service that asked him to take mercy on those scared of his presidency. And this is what Trump said: they could do much better, implying he was not impressed with whatever agenda they were struggling to put out. Why would they take up a sermon like this and politicize it? It is not okay. Do your job without these personal attacks. Trump said it. So you think saying all this will change his mind? That is a question that puzzled through me watching this video. A lot of people are crying on social media when Trump said there are only two genders.
Back to the World Health Organization. You were the president during COVID.
A few moments later.
Donald Trump was inaugurated at 12, and just a few minutes ago, he has now claimed that there will only be the male and female gender that will be recognized in America. This sets back everything that the trans community has been working for, and we have already not been recognized in this country for centuries. If we remember, gay marriage became legal 10 years ago. We had just earned the right to change our gender on our passports and IDs. Just because I want to identify as a man does not mean I am trying to hurt you. In these next 4 years, you are going to hear the most intense anti-trans propaganda you have ever heard in your entire life. And they're going to strew it in a way that sounds extremely convincing, because it will fearmonger. It will fearmonger everyone's insecurities. Please talk to your neighbors, protect your trans community, stay involved, and do not forget us, because history will try to erase us.
Hey guys, everything feels really out of control and scary, and I'm really anxious. Elon Musk, did a Nazi salute for some reason. That's so scary. And Donald Trump's the president, and that's so scary. And he basically admitted to voter fraud, but we're all just kind of glossing over that. Also, if you look up, this is random, if you look up right now, in the search bar on TikTok, the Taylor Swift song, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, it's all, for me at least, I'll tell you, it's all like replaced with women, question mark. Like, what is about to happen? Like, I have like such like impending doom and fear, and like what is about to happen. So I'm just laughing because I'm scared. Like, I don't why like I'm not understanding either why Elon Musk is involved. Isn't he not American? Like, what is happening going on?
Mish, tell us about it.
Well, good afternoon, Lester. I've been talking to a number of legal experts related to the executive orders on DEI, which of course is diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as gender identity. The Trump administration and the President Trump are planning to sign an executive order where they would be saying that there are two biological sexes, male and female, and to that end, they would be rolling back any sort of gender issues or any sort of gender things that are talking about anything that's non-binary or anything that is not specifically male or female. And to that part, I've been talking to a legal expert who say there could be immediate impacts on that executive order, including in prisons, migrant shelters, as well as in spaces like rape shelters. That could mean that people that are transgender could be moved out of those spaces that they say align with their gender identity and instead moved into spaces that deal with their biological sex in the way that the Trump administration is seeing this. So we could see immediate impact on that. We also are hearing that the Trump administration is going to be changing the way that passports and federal documents are going to be used and utilized and taking away those gender identity terms. In that regard, a legal expert told me that if you're someone who's transgender, who has a passport that maybe has gender X on it, they would caution you not to leave the country because you could literally be detained by border agents because you couldn't have your gender entered into the system if the Trump administration is no longer identifying it. So that means if you're someone who leaves the country, you could literally not be let back in until the State Department issued you a passport that said you were either male or female. So really need to look out for those immediate consequences. I've also been talking to people about these DEI programs, and one expert at the NAACP Legal Defense Fund told me that it's a big question what exact programs are going to be targeted, but they said to me that if it prohibits anything that deals with discrimination on race or gender, while they might see real legal challenges there, those could also be immediately implemented. And they expect, though, to have a lot of lawsuits related to that, but that even with the Trump administration, presidents have the ability to do what they want when it comes to dealing with the federal government's issuance of these programs. So definitely a big fights ahead, and also, though, immediate impacts that we expect, Lester.
So, as we all know, Trump is now president of the United States.
Yes, within the past few hours, what I've seen, people crying at the border. Trump executive orders is putting some of these people into depression. But Trump said it before even doing this a few hours ago. He has been saying it over and over. This is what the first day, this is what I was saying. So I don't know why this is new to these people or why this kind of murder. I'm saying at a certain point, I just understand that liberals will always create scenes like this. It is normal. This is how Trump is. This is what he wants. And this is what majority of the people voted him for. He is doing just what he promised. And people felt they need to vote him.
Right. What about you? You have literally created a position where there's going to be men going into women's spaces now. And women going into men's spaces. This is dangerous. As
bully you tried to steal it from.
A short time ago, President Joe Biden greeted Mr. and Mrs. Trump.
Don't worry, also attending were all those people who warned Americans to shun this wannabe fascist dictator called Trump. Look at me, Ma! Oh, let's go see Hitler and get a quick selfie first. Hello, look at this!
His own bootstraps.
Yeah.
And so in thinking about that, and Donald Trump saying things that this country would be a meritocracy, you're talking about a man who didn't become the president of the United States because of merit.
Yes, when I watch these people cry on social media, partaking through the executive orders, in fact, everything went well. Look at Jon Stewart. I think I'm going to do a whole segment where you will see exactly what actually went on this segment. Sonny Austin, on the other hand, say Trump was not elected. In fact, this lady is not. I hope you heard her. I want to end the video by saying this for people who have been following me. You realize at the end of the day, I usually put videos at the end. This is for the algorithm. If you see this, you can skip. You can watch the video to a certain learn and stop.
Where awful things have happened. So, and sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Future president and his gag
Or a funky in policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning. And, I flew here last night. I was on the plane, started getting texts.
So I am evacuating my home.
What we need to do against what we know is right, and these are the results.
Trump is now calling that Gavin Newsom should step down.
This is you getting water to areas that need water because there are fires in 100-mile-an-hour winds.
The situation is beyond control.
For the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
Right now you're looking
history, remember it.
as a country about and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, it's sad.
I want to be
Jim Jordan.
In the 5 tenants of
Palisades Village right here. This is the town center of sorts.
And he did this little dance.
Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some.
And then we watch news or talk to my friends